On a quiet October morning in 2019, the town of Maple Hollow, Michigan, woke to the kind of news that felt impossible in a place where everyone knew everyone. Emily Carter, a 32-year-old nurse at Maple Hollow General, hadn't shown up for her early shift. Her car was found neatly parked outside her small rented cottage on Birch Lane. Her purse sat on the kitchen counter, her phone charging by the bed. The only thing missing was Emily. Emily was known in Maple Hollow for her warmth and steady presence. She volunteered at the local food pantry, remembered patients' birthdays, and was often seen jogging along the lakeside trail before dawn. She'd moved to town 5 years earlier after what she described as a bad breakup, and quickly became a fixture of the community. So when she failed to appear for work, her supervisor called her sister, Rachel, who lived 30 miles away. By noon, police had been notified. The entire town mobilized. Flyers went up, search parties combed the woods, and the local diner served coffee to volunteers late into the night. Investigators first suspected a random act of violence. There had been reports of a dark pickup truck seen idling near Birch Lane in the early morning hours. State police canvassed nearby towns, looking for similar incidents. But there were no signs of forced entry, no blood, no struggle, just a half-drunk cup of coffee on the kitchen counter. Then, a neighbor recalled hearing muffled voices around midnight. Not shouting, but something serious. As detectives dug into Emily's life, the perfect image began to blur. Her bank records showed several recent cash withdrawals, thousands of dollars at a time. Her phone records revealed frequent late-night calls to an unlisted number traced to a disposable phone. Her sister admitted Emily had been stressed in recent months, speaking cryptically about finally being done with it all. That phrase, investigators would later learn, wasn't about her job. Detectives soon discovered that Emily had been involved with Dr. Peter Lawson, Maple Hollow General's chief surgeon, a married man with 2 children. Colleagues had noticed the way he lingered at her desk or how they'd often leave work within minutes of each other. When questioned, Lawson admitted the affair but claimed it had ended amicably months before her disappearance. His wife, Diane, confirmed that Peter had been home the night Emily vanished. But his alibi began to fray when surveillance footage from a gas station 2 towns overshowed his silver sedan on the road near Birch Lane at 12:47 a.m., roughly the same time the neighbor heard voices. When confronted, Lawson said he had gone for a drive to clear his head. 2 weeks later, a local fisherman found Emily's necklace, an antique locket, caught in reeds along the edge of Clearwater Lake. Divers recovered more: tire tracks leading to the water, fragments of a taillight, and eventually, a car submerged near the shore. Inside was Emily's body. The coroner determined she had died of blunt force trauma before the car entered the lake. The taillight fragments matched a vehicle registered to Diane Lawson. Investigators initially suspected Peter had borrowed his wife's car, but phone records painted a different picture. Diane's phone had been turned off for 6 hours that night, a window of time she'd claimed to be asleep. When confronted with this evidence, her composure cracked. Diane eventually confessed, not in rage but in despair. She'd discovered the affair months earlier and confronted Emily privately. Emily had agreed to end things, but on the night of her death, she'd called Diane, saying she planned to tell Peter's children the truth. They deserved to know, she'd said. Diane drove to Emily's house, intending to plead with her not to. The confrontation turned violent. Emily fell, striking her head on the edge of the counter. In panic, Diane staged the disappearance and drove the car into the lake, hoping to make it look like a suicide or abduction. The town was shattered. The Lawsons moved away before the trial. Peter resigned his post and stopped practicing medicine. Diane pleaded guilty to manslaughter, tearfully telling the court she hadn't meant to kill her, just to stop the pain. Rachel Carter still visits the lake each year on Emily's birthday, leaving lilies on the shore. The community, once united in hope, now lives with a quieter kind of grief. The knowledge that even in a town as close-knit as Maple Hollow, the deepest wounds are often hidden behind the calmest smiles.